time.
It's only the one, bro.
Hey, what's going on, Who Dat Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones, the host of the State of the Saints podcast, and welcome to another edition of the State of the Saints podcast. Of course, we talk New Orleans Saints. On this edition, we're going to be talking about, well, the guy behind me, okay, Jadeveon Clowney. According to some sources, it is being said as of right now that Jadeveon Clowney is going to sign with the Tennessee Titans. But then you have other sources that are saying that Jadeveon Clowney has not made his mind up just yet. So we're going to be talking about Jadeveon Clowney on this edition of the State of the Saints podcast, a special Clowney Watch edition of the State of the Saints podcast. But I want to thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate you spending your Saturday night with yours truly. And if you're not spending your Saturday night with me and you're watching this on another day, I really do appreciate it. And hopefully we can get to the bottom of this and Jadeveon Clowney can stop playing with people's emotions. I really don't get it. I don't understand what the hell is taking so long. It's rather you want to play for this team or you want to play for that team. I don't know if he just loved the attention and he's just trying to soak it all in. What the hell is really going on with Jadeveon Clowney? Bruh, just make up your mind, all right? But there's a lot of things that have transpired up to this particular point, including Sean Payton flying out to Houston, getting first class service at Jadeveon Clowney's house, getting a meal, okay? I mean, some crazy stuff going on, but nevertheless, we're going to break it down. And, of course, one of the most important people that are a part of the show is you all, right? The people in the chat, the ones that make this show exactly what it is. So thank you all very much. Special shout out to Jerry Poor, Ken Terrio, Ivan, Chosen, Darrell, Dajon, Tamisha, Buck Skull, Anna. Man, so many people in the chat right now. I see my guy Mike, Danny. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to talk about this, man. I'm going to give my point of view in a minute. But I'm going to open the floor up to you all because, like I said, you are the most important thing about this show. We're going to start with my guy, Mike. Mike says no. Josina Anderson says she just talked to him. He didn't make a decision just yet. Okay, yeah, that's what I just said, Mike. Josina Anderson came out, said that she talked to Jadeveon Clowney. He said he hasn't made up his mind yet. I don't know if this tongue-in-cheek. I don't know if it's lip service. I don't know if he just wants to make everything official. He hasn't signed the dotted line yet. I really don't know. I really don't know. Anna says, what's up with Rankins? Well, they had him on a trade block. That's what I heard. I mean, they had some news outlets that said that the Saints were open to trading Sheldon Rankins. But if Jadeveon Clowney doesn't come to the New Orleans Saints, you got to be a complete idiot to have to get rid of or want to get rid of Sheldon Rankins. I mean, Sheldon Rankins is a key part to the Saints' success. And if you don't have somebody like Clowney, why in the world would you want to give up a guy when healthy can be a disruptor on your defense? That wouldn't make much sense at all. Clowney can go to the Titans. I didn't even want the Saints to sign him. Wine, I think we was on the same page, my friend. I'll talk about that a little bit later. My guy Kai, the great, says first Clowney to the Titans, and now he's undecided. I'm done, fam. Look, I've been done. I've been telling y'all this for days. People have been thinking that I'm hating. People have been telling me, TJ, you don't know what the hell you talking about. Man, you up here just want to hate on Clowney. I've been telling y'all, man, this is the type of guy that he is, in my opinion. He loves the attention, and honestly, he's one of those guys that doesn't even garner as much attention. I mean, the guy never. I'll leave it for later. I'll leave it for later. Terrence says, when the Saints cut Mario Edwards, I thought they were signing Jadeveon Clowney. Yeah, me too. But unfortunately, they cut my guy Mario Edwards. Mario Edwards was actually on the State of the Saints podcast a couple weeks ago, man. He was actually the first guest I ever had on this show. I've been knowing that kid since he was 16, back in when I was staying in Dallas. So, I hate that he got cut, but hopefully, the Saints can bring him back after if he don't get signed, maybe the Saints can bring him back again. I would be highly surprised if no team pick him up. The Saints don't bring him back, at least to be on the practice squad. Grayland says, I believe we will be fine without him. It does suck. We couldn't get him, but I think Davenport shows out. And that's another thing too, Grayland. If I'm Marcus Davenport, my goodness. If I'm Marcus Davenport, you have done everything to tell me that you don't believe in me. You have done everything in your power to tell me that I'm not the guy. Bruh, your pride is on the line right now. Look, I don't know if Marcus Davenport watched the State of the Saints. Pretty sure he doesn't. But I'm just saying, his pride is on the line as a man, as a football player. For you to be going into your third season, for a team to trade up to get you, and for them to go out and get a guy, okay, because they feel like your production or you are not going to be able to stay on the field is not good enough, man, my goodness. Like, bro, it's time to ball out. Like, no excuses this year for Davenport. Davenport got to ball out, okay? If somebody did this to me, like, think about this. Think about this. You're doing your job. You just got hired. You're doing your job. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have some ups and downs, but you're still at work. You're still doing your job. And then all of a sudden, the company brings in another guy to do the same job that they hired you to do. Man, that is insulting, okay? Especially if the job only requires one person to do it. Okay, I understand about the rotation, but we all know what Jadeveon Clowney brings. So that's a slap in the face to me. Your pride is on the line, Davenport. Your pride is on the line, and the team is questioning, are you really the guy? It's time for you to step up. There is no excuse for Marcus Davenport not to step up after what the Saints did. For them to be whining and dining, getting down on their knees, James Brown style. Please, 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 begging this man to come to New Orleans, all because they feel like you can't get the job done. You know it ain't about Cam Jordan. Your pride on the line, my friend. You better step it up. That's all I got to say. You have got to step it up. No excuses, dude. That's the reason why. That's the reason why they brought him in. If you were doing your job, there's no way we'll even be talking about Clowney. Brandon says, I love to have Clowney. We have some guys that are injury prone on our line. Clowney gives us stability. You can't double everyone between him, Davenport, and Jordan. Someone's getting that quarterback. Look, okay, it's time for me to go ahead and get my my rant on. It's time for me to get my rant on. Look, some of y'all already know where I'm going because you've been following the State of the Saints podcast. Y'all already know how I feel about Jadeveon Clowney. This guy basically getting crowned with no rings, okay? He getting crowned with absolutely no rings. This guy has done absolutely nothing in order for us to be sitting around here on our phones waiting on this guy to make a decision. What the hell has he done? What the hell has Jadeveon Clowney done in order for him to gain this type of attention that he's getting? This isn't Reggie White when he was leaving the Eagles back in 1994 to go to the Green Bay Packers. That deserved a lot of attention because Reggie White was the best at what he did. This is a guy who basically showed flashes in college, showed flashes in an NFL game. Now all of a sudden, I mean, he's just the biggest free agent acquisition you ever seen in your life. Man, knock it off. Okay, knock it off. And that whole point, Brandon, you know what I'm saying? You make some interesting points there, but you're talking about injury prone. Talk about the defense being injury prone. Huh? Really? This guy has not been healthy over the years. He has not. This guy has not been able to stay on the field. That is why I don't understand how people can say on one hand, man, Davenport ain't never in the game. But then want to say, hey, TJ, you think we should get Jadeveon Clowney? It's the same issues. Why you think the Houston Texans gave up on him? The guy was always injured. It has always been a problem. Okay? This guy is a nostalgia act right now. That's all it is. It's just straight nostalgia. Everybody's still going crazy on that hit that he put on Denard Robinson when he was in college. Bruh, you ain't been in college for about 7 years now. It's over. It's done with. Finito, kaput. What have you done in the NFL? Oh, he had a forced fumble. He had a return for a touchdown. He had 3 sacks last year. Give me a break. Never had double-digit sacks. You playing alongside J.J. freaking Watt. And yet we sitting up here on our phones like, who the hell is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, really? Look, will he, if he was to come to the Saints, can he do some things? Yes. And like I said before, will he do some things to make this seem like the conversation or what I'm saying right now is irrelevant? Yes. But I stand by what I said. The guy has done absolutely nothing for us to be giving him this much attention. If this was J.J. Watt on the move, I'd be like, okay, man, I feel like he deserves for us to watch our phone. Jarrell Casey, he deserved for us to watch our phone. You know what I'm saying? People like that. Aaron Donald, he would deserve for us to watch our phone. But him, what has he done? What has Jadeveon Clowney done for us to really be watching our phone? Oh, he had 1 or 2 plays in a game. 1 or 2 plays in a game. All of a sudden, we watching our phone like this guy is our ticket to the Super Bowl. Man, knock it off. And honestly, I'm over it. I'm over it. I am over Jadeveon Clowney. I am over Jadeveon Clowney. I don't care where he go. He can go to the Saints. He can go to the Titan. He can go to the moon. He can go to Jupiter. He can go to Mars. He can go to Pluto. He can go to planet X. All I care. I can give a damn. I could give not a damn where he goes. It don't take this much in order for you to make a decision. You don't have to have coaches flying out and everything like that. Like, seriously, dude, just make a decision. It's rather you want to go to the Saints or you want to go to the Titans or you want to go to the Ravens or you want to go back to Seattle. It's not that hard. It's very simple. Make up your mind. Like Ashley Banks said on that episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, make up your mind, okay? Please do it for me because this is just getting absolutely ridiculous, man. This is absolutely ridiculous. Look, if this was LeBron James or something, we talking about basketball, okay. If we talking about somebody, you know what I'm saying, that has really put in the work, has a resume for us to be sitting up here dissecting and be like, man, you know what? This guy's going to be a difference maker on our team. He's going to change our fortunes. Then I'm for it. But the Saints are going to be good regardless if they get Jadeveon Clowney or not. I will roll with the Saints defense, what they have right now, until 19 games of the season. And yes, I'm saying 19 because I believe that the Saints going to go to the Super Bowl. I will roll with this rotation. We don't need this dude. If he comes in, fine. But make up your damn mind. Please, pretty please, so we can please stop talking about this situation. I'm over it. I've been over him and his clown ass games. Man, for real. Real talk, TJ. Man, I'm just being serious. I'm just being serious. I hate to be over the top and all that, but it's just the truth. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of this. Like, I'm sick of this. Like, we acting like Marcus Davenport is chopped liver. We acting like David Onyemata is chopped liver. Sheldon Rankins, Cam Jordan. You act like these guys are chopped liver. When these guys were healthy, those 5 games of the season when Teddy Bridgewater was in the game, we was coming on the State of the Saints podcast. We were in the chat. I was behind this camera telling everybody, when Drew Brees come back and if they can maintain this type of momentum, the Saints will be virtually unstoppable. But then you had injuries start to occur and the defense started to take a step back. But if these guys can stay healthy, you're hearing it here first. You're hearing it here first, ladies and gentlemen. Who that nation? If these guys can stay healthy, the Saints can have one of the best pass rush in the NFL. I'm saying it right now, without Clowney. So I just don't get it. If we were 5-11, if we were 6-10, if we were 7-9, if we were 8-8, even 9-7, I'd be like, okay, man, you know what? Yeah. Well, we were 13-3 last season. The Saints were 13-3, 13 victories, 3 losses. 13 victories, 3 losses. Well, TJ, we lost in the playoffs. No Rankins, no Davenport. Okay? No Rankins, No Davenport. Keep that in mind. But TJ, you know, our defense, they injury prone. They always hurt. But you want to bring in a guy that has a history of being hurt. I just don't get it. I don't get it. We need to stop with these nostalgia acts. We need to stop with the nostalgia acts, the guys with the names that have done absolutely nothing. I really just don't understand it. I don't understand what had Jadeveon Clowney done in the NFL for us to be sitting by our phones, begging and pleading. Sean Payton flying out to see this dude. Like, what the hell are we doing? Like, really, what are we doing? What are we doing, man? And honestly, if we're going to be real, we know the real reason why we're talking about Clowney. We know why the Saints are aggressively trying to get Jadeveon Clowney. All of this has everything to do with the fact about the Bucs getting Leonard Fournette. And the Saints are trying to keep pace with the Buccaneers acquisitions. This is a classic. I went out here and I bought a Benz. My neighbor got a Benz. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to shine on these haters. I'm going to shine on my neighbor. I'm going to flex on his ass. I'm going to go get a Phantom. That's what this is right here. They got Fournette. Fournette, when healthy, is a very respectable running back, a dangerous running back, a name, a splash. So all of a sudden, the Saints want to go out here and move heaven and earth to get Clowney. Where was all this before? Clowney has been out here all training camp long, all off season. Jadeveon Clowney has been a free agent. There has been no talks about him really committed to any other team. If you love this guy so much, if you think this guy is that much of a difference maker, why are you waiting in the latter hours of the night, walking in with the hoodie on, walking into his estate like a guy sneaking a female into his college dorm room after dorm visitation hours? Why are you treating this situation like that? Why? Why are you doing it? If he was all that in a Hot Wheel track, why is it that we decided to wait till the last minute to try to get this guy? Somebody please tell me. That makes absolutely no sense. Okay? Me personally, I would like to be prepared for the test. I'm going to study beforehand. I'm not going to be having a 1 o'clock class and be trying to cram in information at 12:30, waiting outside the classroom to go up in there to take the test. No, I'm going to study the night of, and I'm going to be prepared. All right? If he was all that, if you know he was out there, why are you trying to make magic right now? All of this is because of Leonard Fournette. I'm sorry, Saints fans. I'm being 100% real with you. That's the way we do it on the State of the Saints podcast. That's the way I roll here. I'm just being real. If Leonard Fournette would have never signed with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, we would not be talking about Jadeveon Clowney to the Saints. Period. Demetia says exactly. Kelly says yes, with a private chef to Houston. Is Clowney signing? I don't know. Clowney in free agency. Yeah, he still is. And we're going to show y'all what we do with Jameis Winston. Well, I hope he do something. That's just the New Orleans way. Yeah, New Orleans, that's just that's the culture right there. We always we do it big. Bucks haven't gone past third place in NFC South in years. That might change this year, man. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, Tom Brady is a difference maker. We may not want to agree with that, but it's the truth, man. Saints cheaters. I don't think the Saints cheaters. I really don't. The Bucks have a great O-line. They're improving. They're improving. I won't say a great. That remains to be seen. But they did fix it up. Who that from Houston? Man, what's going on? Appreciate you stopping by. Double A says Clowney already agreed to sign with the Titans. That's not, I mean, it's not really official yet. I mean, the report's coming out, but he said he hasn't made a decision yet. So, I mean, I got to take it for what it is right now. Hey, I'm a Colts fan, and I hope he doesn't go to Okay. I get, since you're a Colts fan, I assume you're talking about the Titans because they play in y'all division. So yeah, put your where your money is, where your mouth is, or put your money where your mouth is. What are you talking about with that? Are you talking about the fact that I feel like the dude is overrated? I don't need to bet money on that. I mean, just go back and look at the analytics. Go back and look at the durability issues. Go back and look at the plays in which this dude took off. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but I ain't even nothing to bet. Saints don't need Clowney. Absolutely. I 100% agree with that. They do not need Jadeveon Clowney. I'm happy with that. I'm happy the Saints didn't sign Clowney. Man, I don't want this circus. For real, man. It's like I said, it's rather you want to come to a team or you don't. Like, make up your mind. It don't take all that. And if it take a guy that long, it just seemed like to me, man, like it's just becoming a distraction. Just make up your mind. He trying to get paid. He not trying to win a ring. I don't know if that's true, Brian, because if he were just trying to get paid, he would have ended up going to the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland Browns offered him about $18 million. I think the Miami Dolphins offered him about 15 or 16 or something like that. So I don't want to say it's about getting paid, but you can also make the argument that maybe his agent gave him some wrong information, thus the reason why he decided to fire his agent. So I don't know. I mean, his agent didn't do him his agent didn't do him no favors at all. His agent didn't do him no favors. Like, you went from going possibly getting 18 a year to basically getting 12. Like, yeah, I mean, that agent definitely deserves to get fired. Double A said it is official. Adam Schefter already reported Clowney to the Titans. Okay, so if he already reported it, and I'm looking at my phone right now, and hopefully this can tell me so we can go ahead and put this nonsense to bed. Finally, let me go ahead and try to confirm what Double A is saying here. I'm on my phone right now, folks. I apologize, but I'm just trying to make sure. Okay, more on Jadeveon Clowney expecting to sign with the Tennessee Titans via Diana ESPN. So Adam Schefter, as of right now, this is 16 minutes ago. He's saying more on Jadeveon Clowney expected to sign with the Tennessee Titans via Diana. So he's giving Diana Rossini, the one that actually broke the news first. He's actually referring to her. He's not coming out saying that this is official. So even though, as of right now, they're saying, that he's going to sign with the Tennessee Titans. I mean, he hasn't come out and said it just yet. So until he comes out and say it, well, we're going to keep on talking about it, which if he does sign with the Tennessee Titans, I can care less. Like, I'm over this. His name holds weight. That's why, bro. Yeah, his name holds weight, but it holds weight because he's a nostalgic. It's not because of what he does on the field. It's not because, like he just out here balling out. It's not because, he's in contention for Defensive Player of the Year. It's not because he helping his team, get over the hump to a Super Bowl. It's just his name. It's just he's a first overall pick, and he has freakish athletic ability. But that's just about it, man. Like, honestly, this dude to me is the Lex Luger of the NFL. And for anybody that followed the wrestling throughout the years, you know about Lex Luger, right? Lex Luger walk out looking all swole, cock diesel, walking out there, looking like $1 million. But his wrestling ability was worth about $1.50. You know what I'm saying? So that's what this is to me. This guy's a Lex Luger type guy. You know what I'm saying? Guys salivate over him because of his talent, his ability, his athleticism. Look at him. But what has he done? What has he done? Seriously, folks. What has this guy done for us to be sitting up here talking about this guy like he Aaron Donald or something? Like he the second coming of Michael Strahan or something. Like, give me a freaking break. He's done nothing. So, if he does go to the Titans, bruh, I'm telling you, I am going to take a shower immediately following Stay the Saints podcast. I'm probably going, sit next to my wife, You know what I'm saying? Watch P Valley, watch Power coming back on tonight. Then I'm going to get under my cover and rest on my nice soft pillow, and I'm going to sleep. And I'm going to sleep really well tonight, knowing that the Saints going to be all right going into week 1 and for the rest of the season. Like, I'm not losing no sleep over this at all. At all. Bucks going to win the division. Well, I don't know. That remains to be seen, but I doubt it. Might be in second place, though. We have Vrabel, who was his coach. I think it was the comfort that made the difference. I agree with that. Somebody brought up that point. I think it was Mike Flores, NBC Sports. I think I was listening to their podcast while I was cleaning up yesterday, and he made that very interesting point. Yeah, so Tennessee Twist, you're absolutely right, man. And if he does come to you all, congratulations, man, because you guys are on the cusp of something special. You know, like I joked around on the last episode. I was like, why would he want to go to Tennessee when he come to the Saints? But you guys have a great nucleus of players. You have a good chemistry. Mike Vrabel has done an outstanding job. Guys want to play for him. It's classic old school phone booth type football. And that type of football is really good in December and January. So if he does come to you all, you know, hopefully he stays healthy. And I think, you know, I also think that the thought of possibly playing your former team, the Houston Texans, twice a year, that's something that's very appetizing to him as well. The AFC weak. Who won the Super Bowl? Yeah, the Kansas City Chiefs won the Super Bowl, but I don't want to say the AFC is weak. I just think that it's top heavy. The AFC is top heavy. There's like the contenders. And then, you know what I'm saying, then there's like those top teams, and then, I mean, it's just the bottom, you know what I'm saying? But with the NFC, you really don't know who's going to come out every single year. Like, you really don't know. But the AFC, I mean, it's been like the same usual suspects. And I guess that's probably what they're talking about. So I think the AFC is top heavy. You know, the teams that they have are really strong. Okay, but there's a huge drop. We have to admit with that. I mean, with the Jets and the Browns and the Bengals, like there's a huge drop. Bucks and Falcons already fighting for the bottom. Kelly, thank you very much. Man, I think the Bucks and the Falcons probably going to be okay. I think the Falcons are going to have a little bit of drop off. I think the Bucks are probably going to be around 10-6. You know, I think they're going to be, around 10-6. The D line will be good without Clowney. Absolutely, that's the way I feel. Clowney is a true nostalgia act without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's just the truth. Like, people, you know, don't kill the messenger, man. I'm just telling y'all what I see. Do you think we should take a look at Earl Thomas? No, I do not. Leave Earl Thomas where he is. That's another nostalgia act, you know. That's another nostalgia act. I don't need that. I'd rather the Saints go get the guy. I can't think of his name. I just know his first name is Sidney, the guy from the Eagles. That's who I feel like the Saints need to take a look at. Maybe they can put him in a nickel. I noticed the Eagles released him today. I would take a look at him. And I cannot believe I can't remember his last name, but his first name is Sidney. And somebody else helped me out with that. But but I think the Saints can need to look at somebody like that. Like, help, man, build depth in your secondary. Who got Clowney? Apparently the Tennessee Titans. Man, TJ, who that? What's going on, Ernest? The AFC too easy. They got some respectable teams in there. Sidney, I think it's Sidney Jones, if I'm not mistaken. I want to say Sidney Jones. I should remember that. That's my last name. And it says Titans. Josina Anderson said Jadeveon Clowney just told me he still has made his decision. Teams are still calling. That's what she said. Yeah, I put that up on the State of the Saints podcast Facebook page not too long ago. Yes, sir. Power. Yeah, man. I'm interested to see this, man. I'm interested to see how Power is going to be with Tariq as the lead. I know a lot of people don't like the Tariq character, but I mean, I'll give it a chance before I just, defecate on it. Corey says, so did Clowney really sign with the Titans? I don't know. Nothing has been said just yet. Nothing has been official. Well, I don't say nothing has been said, but nothing is official. TJ, you mean the team, a.k.a. Falcons? Yeah, man, the Falcons. The Falcanes can't do nothing. So, honestly, at this point, Clowney stuff doesn't even matter. Yeah, I'm over it. Like, anybody still, like, worried about this guy coming to New Orleans? Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. Like, then whatever it will be, will be. K Sarah Sarah. Ain't that what they say? K Sarah Sarah, wherever will be. Brandon, I didn't know about his back and Fort BS. Just saw his price tag was like 12 million or something. That's AK's money. Yeah, man. It's just, one team call him up. I don't want to play for y'all. Another team call him up. I don't want to play for y'all. Another team call him up like, man, this is some old Ndamukong Suh type stuff. And let's just say this. Let's just be happy that Sean Payton is not the lead scout for our favorite college team, because this guy cannot sell the Saints to no top free agent. Like, this is horrible. Like I think he tried to do the same thing with Ndamukong Suh. Then he tried to do the same thing with Ziggy Ansah. He tried to do the same thing with Jermaine Grisham. He tried to do the same thing with Jadeveon Clowney. Like, let's just be glad that Sean Payton's job is to be an NFL head coach. Because if he was a recruiter, my goodness, teams wouldn't have nothing, okay? They would have 1- and 2-star athletes, because this guy, man, this guy couldn't sell water to a dehydrated man, okay? I mean, I'm just saying, like, right now, this guy whiff. Like, what's really going on? They do a good job. Jeff Island does a good job scouting college players. But when it comes to Sean Payton, no, sir. No, sir. State of the Saints. Hey, TJ, tell my friend Anna hello for me. That's my buddy. Hey, what's going on, Anna? From Jerry Poor. Ren says, we are loaded on defense, and we have to win games on defense and can't give up big plays to lose games late. Yeah, we solved those problems. Me personally, I'm happy. I'm happy. You know why I'm happy, Who Dat Nation? Because the Saints have solved the problems that have been plaguing the New Orleans Saints for years. A possible number 2 receiver. Who's the number 2 receiver? Traquan, step up. Cam Meredith, step up. Step up. All of a sudden, they got Emmanuel Sanders. Zip. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden, we got Malcolm Jenkins. We've been having issues in the secondary, giving up big plays. Now we got a leader in the secondary, somebody that's going to be where he needs to be, going to be able to see the offense, zip, throw it away, all right? I ain't got nothing else to say. Everything else when it comes to the Saints, it just, you know what I'm saying, extra topping, okay? The ice cream sundae already good. It's already good. It's tasty. Everybody enjoying it. I mean, you can add some extra sprinkles. You can add some extra whipped cream. You can add some chocolate sauce, but it's still going to be good regardless, okay? They solved their problems. They solved the problems that have been plaguing the Saints for years. You have to agree with that, folks, okay? Everything else is, extra, Ravens need Clowney. George Kittle. I guess he's talking about that face. I guess he mean that stiff arm. And that stuff don't bother us. That was a regular season game. The Saints have the best coaching staff in the league. Bottom line, Breeze, Kamara, Ty McGovern, Mike, T13, Sanders, Jordan, Lattimore, Jenkins, Davenport, Davis, Deontay Harris, weaponry of mass destruction. That's why I'm not worried. I looked at his highlights on the Seahawks. He looked decent, though, TJ. Yeah, man, but look how many years it took him to be there. And he only had 3 sacks. And like I said, official, you my guy, but keep in mind, you said you looked at the what? Highlights, okay? On highlights, what are you going to see? Highlights, the top moments, But what about the moments where you took them plays off? What about the moments when he wasn't a factor? Like, what about that? Let's put the moments up there. Let's look at the moment where he gave up on plays, when he didn't give his all. Let's talk about that too. Highlights are going to shine to make you shine, okay? But I mean, I'm just not sold, folks. I'm just not sold. As y'all probably obviously can tell. TJ is 117 degrees here in Ontario, California. God dog, man. Y'all about to combust out there. That's hot. That is hot, man. Master says the Bucs are the most overrated team in the NFL. Well, I will say that remains to be seen. It is about what you can do on the field, not what you look like on paper, but that remains to be seen, though. Sean Payton is an offensive-minded coach. Yeah, he offensive-minded coach, and man, he horrible at selling a team to free agents. Horrible. Ravens need Clowney. No, y'all don't. No, y'all don't. If you're a Ravens fan, I'm saying no, y'all don't. If you're not, then the Ravens don't need him. They already got an embarrassment of riches. They don't need him. Still can't believe we ain't get Jordan Love. I'm over that too. And the way that I'm hearing he looking in Green Bay, maybe that's a good idea. But I mean, no OTAs, no minicamp, and he playing a quarterback position. Maybe a year do him some good. Corey says, who is the top cornerback or safety free agent out there we can look at? I say Sidney Jones right now. He got cut by the Eagles. This is a guy that they drafted, I think, in the first round, but he just was injury plagued. I think if he comes to the Saints, maybe he can do something with them. That's what I do with my money. You know what I'm saying? While you around here calling players up, telling them to take money up front so you can free up some money, get somebody like Sidney Jones, somebody in the secondary that can help you out. Bucs not overrated. The Bucs haven't done anything yet in order for us to say they overrated or underrated, Like right now, it just looks good on paper. All right. Like you ever just had like, a piece of chicken or a piece of turkey or, or a meal in general, and it looks good. It looks, delicious. And then all of a sudden you taste it. Oh man, it needs a little salt, needs a little pepper. Like it looks good from a display standpoint, from a presentation standpoint, but when you put it in your mouth and taste it, like it needs a little something. We don't know. Okay. Right now, the chef has just brought us a beautiful dish to the table, but we don't know how it tastes yet. That is the prime example of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers right now. Clowney to Titans official. Thank God. I'm gonna just take your word for it, Redneck. I'm gonna just take your word for it. I'm not even gonna go look. I'm not even gonna go check it out. I'm gonna just be like, yeah, thank you. Okay, Redneck just broke the news that he is official. So thank you. I appreciate that. So now we can just focus on life after Jadeveon Clowney not being with the Saints. So now we can focus on some other things. Braylon says the Ravens don't need him. I wouldn't say that they're one of the most talented teams in the league. They definitely one of the most talented. Whose sources? Redneck says Schefter. The season did not start yet. How can you say the problems are solved? Well, Douglas, I'm looking at it from a player standpoint. I'm looking at it from the guys that they actually brought in. I'm looking at it from the guys that they actually went out and got, and the things that these guys have done, and what these guys have shown. These two guys never really been the guy, but they have been one of the smartest players on their team. Emmanuel Sanders, when he was in Denver, it was Demaryius Thomas, right? It was Julius Thomas before he went to Miami. Emmanuel Sanders was just, a slot guy, a complimentary guy, okay? Malcolm Jenkins went to the Eagles, never really, was like the guy, okay? It was always another cornerback that came in. He was always that supporting role. I'm looking at it from what these guys have done. Emmanuel Sanders being an incredibly talented slot receiver and also playing on the outside. Malcolm Jenkins, a guy who played 6 years with the Eagles and have never missed a game and has been the undisputed leader of their defense. a guy that has 2 Super Bowls and has seen probably every offensive scheme that an offensive coordinator or a head coach can throw at him. So the 2 problems that have plagued the New Orleans Saints has been the fact that you can double cover Michael Thomas, and there has never been a number 2 to try to alleviate some of the pressure off of Michael Thomas for him to perform, even though he did an outstanding job. There still has not been that guy. Emmanuel Sanders comes in with that credibility. The Saints for years have been giving up big plays in crucial parts of the game. A lot of young talent out there learning to be pros together, and a lot of things that they may not be able to see. You have a seasoned veteran that comes in with 12 to 13 years of NFL experience that can put guys in place and also allow guys to play more free because they know the guy behind them is going to be exactly where he needs to be. So that is why I'm saying that the New Orleans Saints have cleared up some of the issues that have been plaguing them. You have to agree that Malcolm Jenkins is, he may not be, a Earl Thomas or Ed Reed type safety, but he's a really smart, instinctive guy, and he's really knowledgeable of the game. And so is Emmanuel Sanders. So from that regard, that is why I say that they fixed some of the issues that plagued them. That is why I'm sure about it. Looks good on paper. Yeah, I agree. Look good on paper, but it's about chemistry, and it's about timing. It's about understanding each other, and that takes time. Who do you think will come out of NFC West this year? I'm gonna go with the Seahawks. Some of the most exciting games, you have to agree. I know this is the State of the Saints podcast, but some of the most exciting games last season were between the 49ers and the Seahawks. I mean, that Week 17 game on Sunday Night Football, 1 yard away from winning the division. And also that Monday Night Football game that went into overtime. I mean, if you're a football fan, that was, beautiful. Honestly, but I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks, man. I look at Russell Wilson, and it's no surprise here. He's my favorite quarterback outside of Drew Brees in the NFL. So, part of me is kind of, really love, this, Russell Wilson, and hope he has success. So I'm going to say the Seahawks, though. I'm going to say the Seahawks going to come out the West this season. I really am. Just looked on Twitter, not official. Okay. Davenport, the future. I agree with that, Dalton. Man, what's up, Dalton? Appreciate you stopping by, buddy. Ernest says, Bucks fan, please visit CCC and make a left or right at the top. Kelly Rose says, congrats, Titans. Yeah, congratulations to him. Do we bring back Mario Edwards or Hunt, the D tackle? If it was me, and like I said, I have an emotional investment in Mario Edwards because I knew the kid since he was 16. But I'm just saying, I'm gonna be as objective as I can. I would bring back Mario Edwards because he has the experience on the defensive side of the ball. He was here last season. The Saints signed him. He went to 2 training camps. He understands the defense more than Marcus Hunt does. Okay, so if it was me, I would bring back Mario Edwards. The Titans front 7 now: Clowney, Jones, Simmons, Landry, Evans, Brown, and Beasley. It's pretty good. That's pretty good. Respectable. Why y'all saying congrats when it's not official? Look, I just want it to be over. I just want it to be over. You ever had that bad relationship and, you know what I'm saying, man, just go ahead and just, man, let's just go ahead and call it quits. Like, look, you don't want me no more. I don't want you no more. Like, let's just call it quits, okay? Like, that's what I'm on right now. Let's just call it quits. With a healthy Sheldon Rankins, our D-line is power. Absolutely. And a lot of people aren't looking at that. Aaron says, how do you feel about our linebacker corps? A great combination of young linebackers and veterans. Me personally, I think it's the most promising position on the field, for the New Orleans Saints. You look at the team, I mean, this has been one of those, issues that we were not sure about. But you look at Mario Davis, who's a leader. You look at Alex Anzalone, who's pretty doggone good. You look at Craig Robertson, who I feel like is very underrated. Caden Ellis, I mean, he did some really good things before he ended up getting injured. I mean, you look at Zach Bond. I mean, I think the future is bright for these linebackers, and I'm not concerned about it at all. There's actually a college football game on Memphis at Arkansas State. Yeah, man, you got a few teams out there playing. You got a few, but everybody's not playing. Clowney not signed yet. What channel, Dwayne? I guess somebody want to know. I'm pretty sure it's probably ESPN. He will sign after physical. Well, please do. Please do. We're going to read a few more, folks, because, I mean, this is a very much an impromptu edition of the State of the Saints podcast. I wasn't going to come on tonight, but all this stuff about Clowney, I knew people wanted to talk about it. So we probably going to, wrap it up, man. I mean, bruh, I do have a wife, and, I got to spend some quality time with my wife, man. So, I love the State of the Saints podcast, but I love my wife too. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of our thing, Saturday nights, checking out P Valley. When the Shy was on, we checked out the Shy, and now Power is back. So that's kind of our thing, man, So wait, I'm confused. Clowney hasn't really signed. I'm confused as hell. Do you see Winston starting after Breeze retire, whenever that is? Maybe. Austin, Clowney has not signed yet. Some people saying he has, some people saying he hasn't. Me, I don't care. As far as Jameis Winston is concerned, there's a possibility. I don't think that Sean Payton would bring Jameis Winston in if he didn't feel like this guy could be a possible starter. And, you have to look at the fact that, there's a possibility that Drew Brees could go down. And, I really feel like Jameis Winston has come to the New Orleans Saints to be the backup quarterback. So I don't think that Sean Payton will go out here and get a guy who he didn't feel that he can win with. So I think with that being said, there is a possibility that he might end up being with the Saints. Good, TJ. You're not letting the haters on this podcast fluster you. They're hating and hope we don't get Clowney. Is not official as of 5:30 p.m. West Coast time. Now, I'm not concerned about that. Like, people going to have opinions. People are going to talk. People are going to, root for their team. I mean, that's what we do, so don't bother me at all, And honestly, I just don't have an emotional investment in Jadeveon Clowney to a point where I actually really cared. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care. Like, if I feel like if they're coming on the channel to say nanny boo boo, to me, I mean, they wasting their time, because y'all already know how I feel about Clowney. I mean, I've been saying that before all this transpired. So I don't have a dog in the fight, No offense to all my dog lovers out there. Davenport can't stay healthy, and y'all talking about he the future. Dude only played 2 years, Heavy C. 2 years. 2 years. That's it. 2 years. If he was a 6th-round pick, y'all would be yelling, cut him. That's because the guy has promise. And that is, I hope, Heavy C, you my guy. Heavy C been rolling with the Who Dat Nation State of the Saints podcast for a while. But if you're a Jadeveon Clowney fan, you shouldn't want, you shouldn't be a fan, because the same issues that you're talking about with Davenport, this has been a story of Jadeveon Clowney over the past couple years. And if you don't believe me, let me pull up Jadeveon Clowney over the last 2 years, okay? The first 2 years in the league. Let's go ahead and pull this up, all right? Let's go ahead and pull it up. So he came into the league in 2014, all right? He had 7 tackles, okay? 2 assists, no sacks, okay? Second season, in 2015, he had 40 combined tackles, 13 and 4.5 sacks. Now, let's go ahead and pull up Marcus Davenport stats over the first 2 years, okay? Let's go ahead and pull this up. That's what I'm doing right now, folks. here on the State of the Saints podcast, pulling up the stats. Okay, I'm pulling up the stats. All right, so Marcus Davenport had 4.5 sacks his first season. He had 6 sacks last season. He had 22 tackles, 10 assists, 31 tackles, 16 assists in the 2 years that he played, 10.5 tackles. So he has 10.5 sacks in his first 2 seasons to Jadeveon Clowney, 4.5. Okay? So if we want to sit up here and try to compare guys, let's look at what Jadeveon Clowney was the first 2 years of his career. But we are like, oh my God, Jadeveon Clowney. We screaming for him, going crazy, right? But you don't want to give Davenport a chance? Not fair, man. Not fair. Not fair. Not fair, man. I'm just being happy to see you, my guy, but that's not fair. That's not fair, man. Damn, imagine if we got Patrick Mahomes, bro. We was close. Yeah, man, but I mean, I'm pretty sure nobody is really upset at the Saints drafting Marshawn Lattimore. I'm not. That's my guy, man. I feel like the money should be poured into Kamara. I agree. What do you score the Bucks versus the Saints? I don't know. It's going to be pretty much a high-scoring game because I just feel like both teams are going to be rusty as hell with no preseason. Not all about sacks, TJ. I mean, if that's okay, if it's not all about sacks, Mike, why are we talking about Davenport then? Because according to Pro Football Focus, Marcus Davenport is ranked in the top 3 and stopping the run. Ranked in the top 3. Ranked in the top 3. And he's number 1 over the first 2 seasons at his position. So if we're not talking about sacks, then we damn sure need to be talking about stopping the run. He does it better than most of the defensive ends in the league. So what are we talking about here? Look, let's not pretend like this guy is trash or slow. The problem is the durability issues. People acting like this dude is trash. The dude is a beast. The dude just has to stay healthy. He just consistently has to be on the field. That is the main issue. I don't know why we keep grasping at straws. I don't know why we try to make a big issue out of something that's pretty obvious. The guy is good. He is a disruptor. He has, quarterback hurries. He stops the run. He can get pressure. What's the problem? 10.5 sacks in the first 2 years. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not done yet. I am not done yet, okay? For all those people out there that's still out here, talking about Davenport and not looking at addressing the elephant in the room, right? Okay, so let's look at Cam Jordan. Cam Jordan, over his first 2 seasons, right? First 2 seasons, he came in the league in 2011, all right? He had 9 sacks total. Marcus Davenport had 10.5 sacks. And think about this, folks. Cam Jordan never missed a game. So this guy has 10.5 sacks to Cam Jordan's 9 in his first 2 seasons. What are we talking about here? Let's not make something bigger than what it is, okay? Like, if you go to the shoe store and you see some shoes, you know what I'm saying, and they look good, and you like the shoes, you put the shoes on, but they don't fit. It's not the fact that the shoes don't look good anymore. It's the fact that the shoes don't fit. They don't fit. Okay? Let's stop paying attention, let's not criticize the shoes. Let's not criticize the box the shoes came in. Let's not talk about the store. It's obvious that the shoes just didn't fit, which is why you decided not to get the shoes, because you won't be able to wear them. Marcus Davenport, the issue is durability. It's not about his production. It's not about him getting sacks. It's not about him stopping a run. It's his durability. If he gets that intact, this would be ancient history. We know it. If this guy comes out tonight or today, or this season rather, and balls the hell out, all of this will be negated. This will be water under a bridge. We are basing our knowledge and our assessments on 2 years for a young player who has been productive when he's on the field, and we're criticizing him and we're amplifying that criticism because he's been hurt. Let's call a spade, folks. Let's stop pretending like this guy is not good. It's the durability. And let's focus on the durability. Let's not focus on the player, because if we're focusing on the player, who that nation? I have to tell you this. You're being ridiculous. If you're focusing strictly on Davenport as a player, the way that he plays the game, the way that he approached the game, then you are being ridiculous. If you want to talk to me about durability, then I got time for you. If you want to talk to me about his production on the field and what he does, I don't have time, because we are basically just criticizing a guy for absolutely no reason. Focus on the task at hand, all right? If the grass needs to get cut, we don't need to be focusing on the weeds and cutting the hedges. We need to be focusing on that grass, all right? Focus on the fact that the guy has durability issues and leave it at that. The guy is a disruptor. The guy has promise. Davenport better not get hurt again. Mike, look, if you want to talk to me about him being hurt, I got time. I got time, Mike. I got time. I get it. I understand your frustrations in that regard, but I cannot sit up here and allow people to criticize this man like he's not good or he's not productive when he's on the field. I cannot do that. I cannot do it, folks. If you want to talk about durability, we can talk, okay? You got me there. I'm backed into a corner. But if you want to talk about production, I got Pro Football Focus and analytics on my side to tell you that the guy that we love more than anybody in a Who Dat Nation, Cam Jordan, Marcus Davenport, has had a better 2 years than him. And the fact that he played in less games than Cam Jordan did in his first 2 years, that's even more remarkable. So imagine if he would have played all 16 games and plus the playoffs. Imagine if he would have played all these games. Ask yourself this: would you still be criticizing Davenport? Would you still be criticizing Davenport if he has the same type of durability as Cam Jordan? So let's just leave it at that and not focus on his production. TJ, you want Aaron Donald? Would love to have Aaron Donald, but I don't think that's a reality. Official. I mean, I think anybody will want Aaron Donald. I mean, he's the best defensive tackle in football. Kendall says they complain, yet they can't do what he do. Well, I mean, we fans, okay? We're fans. And, fans are very critical. That's kind of like what we do. It's because we have an emotional investment in it, Kendall. Like we want to see the Saints win. I know Titan fans up in here. They want to see the Titans win. Bucks fans in here, I mean, they want the Bucks to win. So that's an emotional investment in it. Can we do some of the things that they do? Absolutely not. But, our passion, makes us have these type of conversations. So, yeah, I agree with you. People can't do what they do. But, that don't stop us from, talking about this team, talking about our respected teams. Ranking in the same boat, we need both healthy, especially in the playoffs. I agree with you, Clifton. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Rankins, when healthy, really good, but we need them. If Davenport get injured again, I'm going to be upset. Well, you should be. You should be upset. They won't have the money for Aaron Donald. Absolutely not. They would never have the money for him. That man makes over $100 million. Clowney would have been unstoppable in the run game. Yeah, he's a really good run stopper. I give him that. But so is Davenport. So is Davenport, folks. I'm hush mouth. You TKO'd me with that stat. Heavy C, nah, bro. Like it ain't about TKOing, man. You made a good point. I understand your frustrations about Davenport, but like I said, I respect everybody's positions. But if I disagree with your stance, and I'll tell you why. But you make a good point, and I understand your frustration. The Saints traded up. They traded with the Green Bay Packers in order to acquire Marcus Davenport. They had an opportunity to get the reigning MVP in Lamar Jackson. They decided not to. So if you're looking at Lamar Jackson winning MVPs, taking the league by storm, and you know for a fact he could have been a New Orleans Saint, it frustrates you, especially when you look at the guy that could have, not been here. He's out there being injured. He's not on the field at all. I get it. But I do think there's a lot of promise in Davenport. I do think that he has a lot of ability. And I think that he is underrated in some regard because we don't really pay attention to TFLs, which stand for tackle for loss. For those that don't know, we don't focus on the assists. We don't focus on the hurries. And, I'm not a real big fan of Chris Sims on NBC Sports, but, he talked about they need to send something to the NFL and they need to have a stat called the play up stat. Okay. It's a stat where a player is so disruptive, they may not get the sack, they may not get the tackle, but the reason why the other guy got the tackle or the sack was because of that player. If we're talking about that, then Davenport does a lot of great things. Davenport does a lot of great things, folks. Thank you for the $1.99, by the way, Dante. Appreciate that, man. We're going to take a few more, and like I said, we're going to get up out of here. TGTV Tank Mode says, honestly, the fact Clowney takes the Titans over the Seahawks, Saints, and Ravens, who are better teams and have great quarterbacks, shocks me because if Derrick Henry gets hurt, the Titans are done. That's a good point. But there is some incentives him signing with the Tennessee Titans. Number one, he get an opportunity to go after the Houston Texans twice a year, the team that gave up on him, that traded him, that said you're not good enough for us to give you another contract. Okay. And he have an opportunity to play with Mike Vrabel, a guy he knows really well. So there is some incentive to that. And I get it. You want to show that team, look, you shouldn't have got rid of me. And I'm going to show you by playing you twice a year and being the reason why you guys don't get over the hump, or be the reason why you guys don't make win the division or make the playoffs. So, I mean, that's some good leverage right there. Davenport going to shut y'all the hell up. I agree with that. What has been Clowney tackles for loss? Just wondering. His tackles for loss, his TFLs. I would have to go into the archives and take a look at that. I don't know if I want to. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Y'all bear with me. Okay, I'm gonna go back to 2019 he had 7. Okay, and then 2018 he had 16. All right, so but we talk about 2014, his tackles for loss, he had 3 and 8. So 3 and 8 in his first 2 years. Okay, let's see what Marcus Davenport had over his first few years for TFLs. I don't know exactly how many he had, but I'm gonna check his stats real quick. He had 6 and he had 5. Okay, he had 6 his first season and he had 5 the second season. So, like I said, with that being said, 6 and 5 his first 2 seasons, and then you have Jadeveon Clowney. He had 3 and 8 his first 2 seasons. So, I mean, if you love Jadeveon Clowney, you should love Marcus Davenport. It's still not official. Looked on Twitter and touchdowns, because Twitter a valid info source. Jeremy with the sarcasm. CBS Sports confirmed it. Okay. Did they even try to get Griffin, or do they hold a grudge from what he did to them in the playoffs? He would have been a better option. Look, I don't think it had anything to do with a grudge, because if it was, if they was just doing that based on grudges, then they wouldn't have Latavius Murray, right? But Latavius Murray in that 2017 divisional round, man, he was running all over the Saints. So, and yet here he is, the backup running back, the backup running back for the New Orleans Saints. And the Saints over the past few years have really they've gotten Minnesota Vikings players, Teddy Bridgewater, Marcus Sherrills, who didn't end up panning out. So there is a pipeline between Minnesota and New Orleans. I think it has a lot to do with the relationship of Mike Zimmer and Sean Payton. They were best friends. They both served under Bill Parcells. Sean Payton's offense went up against Mike Zimmer's defense at practice all the time, and a friendship developed. So I don't think it had anything to do with that. Maybe you can make an argument about COVID-19, the fact that, a lot of people didn't know where, his headspace was because Everson Griffin was dealing with some anxiety and depression. Maybe that has something to do with it too. And the fact that you weren't able to, lay eyes on a player due to COVID-19, maybe that has something to do with it. But I don't think it had nothing to do with the fact that, they hold a grudge. If anything, if a player like that becomes a free agent and he did all that to you, you need to bring him in the building. Let me see it. And how about Ndakwe to the Vikings though? He didn't want to be in Jacksonville. He didn't want to be there, And the worst thing that you can do is keep a guy where he don't want to be, because he's going to find a way to get himself out. Rather it be lack of production, him making business decisions, it's going to hurt your team somehow. So it's best for you to try to get some capital off of him before he becomes a free agent. Last question says, who you think will lead the league in rushing, passing, receiving, and touchdowns? Who I feel like going to lead the league in rushing? I feel like Saquon Barkley is going to lead the league in rushing and passing. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is going to lead the league in passing, followed by Kyler Murray. In receiving yards, I think that DeAndre Hopkins is going to lead the league. And in touchdowns, who I feel like going to lead in touchdowns? I'll probably have to say George Kittle, because I think he's going to be dealing with a lot of goal line situations. I think he's going to get some double-digit touchdowns in receiving. So if I was a betting man, those are the guys that I would go with. Saquon Barkley, I feel like they're going to use him in a variety of ways, and I think that he's going to have a really big season. So, and somebody says, is Michael Thomas the best? Is Michael Thomas the best wide receiver in football? To me, no, he's not. I feel like DeAndre Hopkins is, because DeAndre Hopkins over the course of time has shown me that anybody can throw him the ball. Hot garbage has played quarterback for the Houston Texans. Tom Savage, who was that? TJ Yates, Matt Schaub. I mean, this guy has some straight incinerator trash, throwing him the football. But he always managed to have over 1,000 yards. He's always had over 70% of his catches, So I would get Hopkins the notch. But I think before it's all said and done, if pending the fact that he stays healthy over his career, I feel like Michael Thomas is going to have better numbers than DeAndre Hopkins. So, but I would give it. It's close, but I would give it to Hopkins. Somebody says, that Michael Thomas DeAndre Hopkins not better than Michael Thomas. I mean, it's just a matter of opinion, I mean, I'm just giving my opinion, like you have your opinion, I have mine. I'm not mad at anybody that thinks that Michael Thomas is better than DeAndre Hopkins or Julio Jones or any other wide receiver. I mean, he had more catches than any other wide receiver. He had more yards than any other wide receiver last season. Every year his numbers has went up. He's a fierce competitor. He doesn't take plays off. He runs crisp routes. People criticize him for running short, intermediate routes. But, as a guy who has caught the ball before playing receiver, I know for a fact that it's much harder to catch the ball when you have a cornerback jamming you for 5 yards and you have to you got to get separation that close versus a guy who has break the top off speed, who's going to run right past the cornerback, and catch the ball. I feel like there's an art to a guy running short intermediate routes. Like you got to learn different techniques to get separation. So I'm not buying into all that stuff, but I would just say Hopkins, man, because, man, you got to prove it. I feel like what makes you who you are is not just your success, but your adversity as well. And we know that Hopkins has been through so much adversity. Not having a quarterback. Before Deshaun Watson got there, man, they had some garbage. Do I like Taysom Hill? Yeah, he all right. This is hard to admit, but I've been selling drugs in school zones. Ray Long, I don't know what they got to do with anything. TJ, why did we cut so many promising players like Fowler, Washington Jr., and Butler, all of whom were balling at camp? That's just the way it goes sometimes. It's tough. It's tough, man. It's tough, to keep everybody. You got to make those decisions. You look at Benny Fowler, did some good things in camp, but I would rather go with a guy that I know is familiar with the defense. With the offense, excuse me. Washington, Key Washington Jr., I feel like he's going to clear waivers. He's going to end up on the practice squad, and so is Butler. Benny Fowler, I'm not so sure about. Could happen. So this isn't like, those other years, King Arthur, where, we're like, man, these guys were good. We're not going to be able to keep them. They expanded the practice squad, right? So instead of having 10 players on the practice squad, you can have up to 16 players. So these guys might be back with the Saints. So keep that in mind. It's not a typical year. You got to keep in count COVID is here. So these guys, even though they got waived and cut, they can come back. But I want to say thank you very much for tuning in to the State of the Saints podcast. And be sure to check out the State of the Saints podcast on YouTube, youtube.com. Search the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you all very much. The State of the Saints podcast has reached 4,000 subscribers. That's right, 4,000 subscribers that we have now on the State of the Saints podcast. So thank you all very much. Thank you for helping to continue to grow the channel by liking and sharing videos. And if you have not subscribed, please do so. We're definitely trying to grow. We're definitely trying to move forward. If you don't know that much about the State of the Saints podcast, it's your first time checking it out. Man, we have like different guests on the show, beat writers for the New Orleans Saints. We had Steve Weiss from the NFL Network. I try to get as much content as I possibly can in. We get people from, other teams. If you're a fan of a team in the NFC South, I try to go across enemy lines and get people to interview them. So it's great content here, man. So I guarantee you will not be disappointed by subscribing. Also on Facebook.com, search the State of the Saints podcast. And also the audio version of the State of the Saints podcast is available on iTunes, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Anchor FM. I encourage you to take a few seconds, okay? A few seconds to click on your favorite streaming app. iTunes, Spotify, iHeart, Anchor FM, wherever you use, search the State of the Saints podcast, and please follow the channel. We're definitely trying to grow the channel from the audio podcast standpoint. The numbers were really low because I really wasn't pushing it. So that's why I'm really asking you all for your help. Honestly, you all know I don't ask people for much. All I'm asking you to do, if you love the State of the Saints podcast, if you love the content, if you love what we're doing, just please take a few minutes and follow it on your favorite streaming app. Okay. And I'm looking forward to a lot of interviews this week, man. Coming up Tuesday, we have John DeShazer. Coming up Wednesday, we have Mike Detillier and former Super Bowl champion guard Jari Evans will be on the show, man. So jam-packed week. And we're definitely going to try to get someone from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, most likely my guy, DJ Hopkins, a fan of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We're going to be talking about that. Me and my big brother, EJ, our podcast is about to kick off this Thursday following the week one game, the opening game against the Kansas City Chiefs and in the Houston Texans. So jam-packed, man, jam-packed. If you love sports, you love the Saints, you'll definitely love this channel. Thank you all very much. You take care. And like always,